Hello and welcome to Grim Survival. This is my Sunday morning premiere video, so welcome all you gremlins to the morning premiere, and I really appreciate you being here. I do have intended on being here myself, so I should be, hopefully. Yeah, I'm doing a little something on the computer here at the same time I'm talking to you because, yeah, work continues. Sometimes I wish the Sabbath was just a little bit longer because work continues. It really does. I just keep on going and going. I'm like the Energizer Bunny over here. I got more notes. Yeah, this video is going to be a quick overview of bugging out with pets because the question was asked and I thought I would include some information. That being said, some of you, a lot of you, are not going to like my answers. Yeah, you're probably just not going to like my answers. I'll just put it that way. There we go. That's done. Alright, so bugging out with pets. Let's start with the easy part. The easy part is if you're bugging out in a vehicle. The same principles apply as the bug out video I did just the other day, Bug Out 101. Same principles apply. If you are bugging out, you plan to take a vehicle. I cannot emphasize this enough. You should have extra bug out gear ready to go in the form of large totes, boxes, whatever it's easier for you to carry, whatever you can stack very well in your vehicle so that you can have extra supplies. And supplies include food, water, medicine, possible hygiene, and maybe extra clothing, things like this. Maybe. It's just, person by person basis, obviously, but still, extra gear in these boxes is very much needed. So if you are bugging out with pets, you should definitely, and I'm talking about domesticated animals right now. We'll get into livestock a little bit later. But domesticated animals, cats and dogs, things like this, you should have extra food ready in one of these bug out boxes. You should have it ready to go. Keep whatever it is in the box. Make sure it's, rotate it frequently. Obviously, pet food is not, one of those things that has an endless shelf life. Alaska Prepper has a very good video talking about this. I think it was in a live stream, maybe. I don't remember which video, honestly, I don't. But Alaska Prepper has gone over this quite a bit where dried pet food, like, the bags of food you buy for your dogs and cats, it doesn't last very long. It goes rancid rather rapidly. What you can use is canned food, canned pet food. Obviously, this is going to be heavier. Generally speaking, if you have a lot of it, it's going to be heavier. It's going to be harder to move. But if you're using dry food, rotate it frequently. I'd say within 3 months. 3 months is my guess. I've never stored pet food for long term, so I can't give you an accurate time frame on that. But Alaska Prepper has more information, obviously. Usually does, right? So anyway, that's the easy part. If you have dogs, cats, even a bird, ferrets, hamsters, whatever you have, keep extra food, extra supplies for it in the bug out box that is intending to go in your vehicle in the event that you have to bug out. Okay, so that was the easy part, right? Okay. So, bugging out on foot. Yeah, this is the part people aren't going to like. From a standpoint of somebody who has 3 cats and a dog in his house. Let's just talk about the dog first, because that's the easy part. The dog will follow me. The dog isn't as stupid as I make him sound, but yeah, he's not the brightest one in the box either. But anyway, the dog will follow me. The dog has the capability of carrying his own gear. You can buy things if your dog is a big dog, like mine. I have a Doberman. He can wear a doggy, it's like a saddlebag basically. It straps to your dog. He can carry his own water. He can carry his own food. Yeah, it's not going to be an endless supply. Obviously, there's going to be some a little bit of a time frame there. So, I can stuff about 3 days worth of food and water in the dog's bag, and the dog can carry it himself, and he will follow me without a leash. And that is the key there, is without a leash. Because in a bug out scenario, you're not going to be wanting to hold a leash. Make sure you have a defensive tool while carrying a bug out bag, and a dog yanking you, because yeah, your dog may not be trained very well. So yeah, that being said, smaller dogs, you have to ask yourself, can you carry an animal? This goes for smaller dogs and cats. Can you carry an animal? This is, I mean, if you have multiple animals, it's not likely. It's just not likely. If you're bugging out on foot and you have 3 cats, like I do, the cats aren't coming with. That's just that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all outside. I'm going to take whatever food they have, open it, leave it outside with them. Cats generally can fend for themselves fairly well. Most cats, even cats that have lived in your house for quite a long time, can still fend for themselves very well. They know how to get food. They know how to get food. They do. It's a natural instinct for cats. There's no way, if I'm bugging out on foot, that I am carrying 3 fat, lazy cats with me. It's just not happening. So, like I said, I'm going to let them outside and leave the food there. That is my recommendation. And like I said, a lot of people aren't going to like it. And believe me, I know how attached people are to pets. I know how attached even my own family members are attached to pets. I know. It's like a child. It really is. And nobody's going to want to abandon their child outside while they're leaving. But your cat's not going to follow you. I mean, maybe if somebody has a cat that would. There's always an exception to that. Somebody has a cat that will probably follow them. If that's the case, hey, let it follow you. Let it. Otherwise, just look at it from this standpoint. If you're taking your pet in a pet carrier and you're carrying it and you get, several miles from your home, you left most of its food back there because you can't carry its food, and then you can't carry the animal anymore. You're now leaving that animal, up to 5 miles or less, maybe more, from your home, from the food supply they had. And now you've put them in a worse situation than just leaving them near your house with whatever food that they had. Okay? Keep that in mind. You are making it worse for them. There's the good chance that if you're bugging out short term, like I said, in a vehicle, if you're bugging out short term and it's cats or even a dog, you can, I'm talking 2 to 3 days, maybe a week tops, you can leave their food open inside the house. Yeah, if it's a dog, you're going to come back to a mess. Okay, yeah, that's just going to happen. Cats, they clean up after themselves fairly well. They use a litter box, things like this. I don't know about ferrets, birds, and things like that. I had a bird when I was a kid, but yeah, I know most birds are acclimated to the weather inside the home, and letting them outdoors in a winter type situation, they're probably not going to survive very long. It is what it is. I'm not going to tell you to put it out of its misery. I'm not going to say that. That's the first thought that came to my mind, though. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I just wouldn't. It would be traumatic for you. So it's better to let them go and hope for the best, especially when it comes to things like cats. There's a very good chance if you leave them outdoors and leave their food there, that if you're bugging out and you come back after a week or 2, or I've seen it even longer, you come back after a month, that cat's probably still going to be there or be very near. And if you put some more food back out, you'll see a day later it came back looking for food, and you'll get your cat back. So, alternatively, if you are going to try to take them with you, you will need to do the same thing you would do with a small child. You'll need a stroller, a wagon, a cart, something to tow it around with. You put the pet carrier, you can stack them in a stroller, you can put a pet carrier in a wagon or a cart that you're pulling, and yeah, you can drag them along with. Include their food with you. Have a go bag or box for your animal, or animals, as it may be. Dogs are a lot easier on foot. Like I said, they can carry their own stuff, and my dog will follow me. It's big, it's dumb, but it will follow me because it's smart enough to know where the food comes from. Yeah, most kids are also, so you might just consider telling your kid to follow you too. Right? Just a consideration. Yeah. It's not an easy thing to think about, but it is things we need to think about prior to anything happening. You don't want to be trying to make this decision at the last minute when things are burning down all around you, like in the case of the wildfires of 2020. You don't want to make that last minute decision, oh, where's the cat's food? Where's the cat? I got to grab the cat. And that's going to be the hardest part for a lot of people, is finding the animal if it's a cat. And it, when you start to panic, and when your feelings are words are escaping me. When your feelings are elevated and you're getting in a panic type situation, you're getting nervous, you're getting scared, you're like, oh, we gotta go. Most animals are going to sense that. Most animals are going to run and hide. If there's something like wildfires happening around you, most animals are probably already hiding. So getting to know your animal and knowing what their hiding locations is a very good idea. If they hide under your bed, flip it over, grab them. I mean, shut the bedroom door, make sure they can't escape. Snatch them up, throw them in a pet carrier, and go. So yeah, it's not an easy thing. Now let's talk about other animals like livestock. Most farmers are aware that if a natural disaster happens, that their livestock is pretty much SOL. This includes your chickens. You can't carry your chickens with you. Letting your chickens out, they're probably not going to last very long, because somebody else next door let their cats out like I plan to do, and their cats are going to have your chickens for dinner. That's just how that works. Natural, that's just the natural order of things. So, yeah. Taking your animals with is a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing if you're not in a vehicle. If you're in a vehicle, it becomes a lot easier. If you have the ability to push a stroller, to carry or drag a wagon or something like a little red wagon that the kids use, plastic, I think they're all plastic now. Keep in mind, if you are doing that there may come a time where you have to abandon whatever it is in whatever you're pulling it around or pushing it in. Keep that in mind. So like I said, it may just have been better off to leave them near the house. And this is even your dog. Even if you have a big dog that doesn't follow you, yeah, I mean, you're probably better off leaving it. Do not lock them in. If you're not coming back, don't lock them in the house. Just don't do that, because that's just a very slow, painful death. And that is just harsh, but that's the reality. It's a slow, painful death. Do not leave your animal locked in the house if you don't think you're coming back anytime soon. Let them out the door. They have a much better chance of surviving, and you have a much better chance of seeing them again if you just let them out the door. Most animals, if you are walking away, will follow you. Most of them. Not all of them. Cats probably not. Most dogs, let's just put it that way. Most dogs will follow you. Especially if you have a treat in your hand or something like that. Now, yeah, you can try to attach a leash to yourself, to your bug out bag. You can try to hold a leash, but I don't recommend it. You will eventually come across something you have to climb, something you have to go through. You might come across some people that are a threat to you, and you're going to have to let go of that leash. You know, it's not a guarantee that could happen, but it is very possible in any kind of a bug out mass panic type of situation. Any kind of a grid down situation, it's very possible. That being said, a dog could be helpful to you, but it's also a very big liability. It is. It can give away your position. It can start barking at people. It can, just wander off to go see what that guy over there with that firearm is doing. I mean, you got to really know your animal before you make any kind of decision like this. So this is definitely a case-by-case basis. You're going to have to know your animal. If your animal will follow you like mine, then yeah, let it follow you. Make sure you buy the saddlebag type situation for it. It's basically a doggy backpack. Make sure you buy that, and make sure your dog is used to wearing it. Put it on them in the house. Put the weight in it from the water and the food. Make sure they get used to carrying it. We'll go for walks with it, things like that. Get them used to it. Because if you slap this on a dog that's never had it on, he's going to look at you like you're crazy, he or she. Yeah, and then just stand there like, take this off of me, or start doing circles and rolling around and just the crazy things that dogs do, right? Because dogs are crazy. Alternatively, if you have a horse, take it with, ride it out of there. If you have cows, they're pretty well feed themselves on grass. Just open all the interior gates and hope you come back. If you have chickens, there's really not much you can do for them. The most humane thing you can do is just let them out and hope for the best. Hope for the best. But like I said, chickens are prey animals, and there's a lot of things that like chicken. A lot of things that like chicken. Not just me. I like chicken. But yeah. Other animals such as ferrets and hamsters and things, I really don't have a lot of information to help you with that. You're going to have to make those kinds of decisions. You should make these decisions now. You should definitely have, like I said, if a vehicle is optional, have the box. Make sure you have extra stuff for your pets in the box. Keep your pet carriers near your bug out bag. And these boxes obviously are not to replace a bug out bag. You should definitely include your bags with the box. Keep that in mind when you are allotting room in your vehicle for these boxes, that you still have to fit the bags, because in the event that you have to abandon the vehicle, you're not carrying these boxes, you're only carrying the bags. So that it brings the question that if you have your pets in pet carriers, you have all their food in one of these boxes, and you have to abandon the vehicle, what do you do? If it's cats, you probably have to just let them out and hope for the best. You probably do. Like I said, you might find that it was just better to leave them by the house. Animals like ferrets and things like that, and birds, I just cannot help you with that, because birds, I mean, if you have a bird in a cage and you're trying to carry the bird cage, depending on the weather, it could be very bad for the bird, depending on the weather. I mean, if you're walking through a blizzard, yeah, it's not going to be good for the bird at all. So yeah, this is a case-by-case thing, and this is obviously a very grim thing to think about. It really is, but it needs to be thought about prior to anything happening. And yeah, I'm sorry I don't have very good advice for you other than, you know, try to take the vehicle, try your best. The vehicle's not always going to be optional, especially in a civil unrest type of situation. Roads will be blocked, people will be doing crazy things, there will be people in the roads, there will be vehicles blocking roads, there very well may be law enforcement blocking exits and roads too. So you just never know. We plan, but we all know what happens to plans. Alright, that's been about enough of that. Yeah, sorry I couldn't help more with it, but it is definitely things that people need to think about. Obviously, if you're the local cat lady and you have 40 cats in your house, just open the door and let them be free. That's my suggestion. Alright, this has been James with Grim Survival. Thank you for watching. See you next time.